Hi,
Hello.
good evening, Kavita. Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. You're able to hear me and see me clearly?
Yes, absolutely clear.
Thank you so much. Thanks for joining in. We'll just wait for a minute or so before we start.
Sure.
We'll start sharp
And
at
how
6.
are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm very happy to have you.
Thank you so much. You can hear me, right?
Yes, absolutely. I'm also audible and clearly see.
Yes. Yes,
Absolutely. I
clear.
see a lot of your fans are joining in.
Most of them are my friends here.
Absolutely wonderful to have them. So, Kavita, I think we can start in a minute or so.
Sure. Actually, no, people are not still Insta friendly. At least my generation is not so Insta friendly. Getting used to it slowly.
No problem. So we are super excited to have you, Kavita, in this live, and I've been waiting for it for a long now. And I'm sure you're going to be an
Thank
asset
you.
to our listeners, the way the book is. And we just can't wait to, uh, discuss about their accomplishments and your amazing work because you're an absolutely incredible author. And it is truly my pleasure to have you on this show today. And I have been through your latest book, Endangered Love. And trust me, this
Thank
simple
you.
and lucid write up takes you on an emotional ride. And throughout the story, there is not a single page that you can just, where you can excuse all yourself and put the book down. I mean, I just started and it lasted till the wee hours in the morning. So it was absolutely a non-stop marathon session reading your books, and it is so much relatable and looks like your book characters are so much real and they are part of family and they're actually, we are also living with them. So this is your magic of your writing. So I extend my warm welcome to you, Kavita, and thank you so much for taking out time. And we're looking forward for a very fun-filled evening with you. We'll be, asking you a lot of questions, some of the questions which audience has sent us, and some of the questions
Thank
which
you so much for being so generous with your words and appreciation. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. I fall short of words. The kind of love I hear for you. I mean, I really feel short of words. I mean, before I begin to my listeners and I speak my one of my close friends whom I was mentioning to you has all your books. Okay.
Right.
And before I think she's the one who gets those signed copies. She's amongst those first ones who order. So she tells me that she has planned her Vaishno Devi trip, her Kashmir trip because of one of your books. She said, she
Right.
was so much in love with your book that she planned that trip, and every the small nuances which you had put in your book, she could relate in her trip. So she is so much in love with your book and the characters, and so I think there's enormous love for you, and you truly deserve it. And once again, thank you, Kavita. So for all those
Truly
who are
blessed, Touchwood, yeah.
so for all those who are new and who are still, knowing a bit about Kavita, while she doesn't need any introduction, but as a formality, let me introduce her. So 38-year-old Kavita is a writer, a mother of a beautiful daughter, an event planner, and an English honors graduate. A true Gemini by nature. She always follow her heart. Okay, and she loves to travel and is an avid reader, a keen writer since the tender age of 12, shared hundreds of poems to her credit, Love Conquers All was her first attempt at story writing, and the story has already been loved and appreciated by thousands and thousands of readers across in social media, giving her name, fame, and popularity. So, before we begin, tell us about your latest book, its cover and design, Endangered Love, Kavita.
See, this book was a long pending story. It took me 5 years to actually zero it down to a book. Actually, this is a story of a character that is there in Love Conquers All trilogy. So basically, I started writing this book 5 years back. It was 2018 or 2019 I started, but then abruptly I stopped it. Like blockage kind of it was a thing. So then it took me years again to get back to the story because my readers actually wanted to hear the story of Rahul. So it was this year. I think I began again in March or something like that. Clearly, so not March, January, February, I started writing and I completed it finally. And the cover page was designed 5 years ago. This was designed by my friend Amrita, and it was designed 5 years ago.
It's very beautiful. It shows a heart, and there's a thread. So, what is that thread? I mean, what is it telling? I mean, what does
See,
it do?
basically, what is this telling that every heart can heal?
Oh,
No matter how bad a situation you have been, how bad a breakup you had, but or how bad a situation you have faced in your life, whatever, everything heals. It takes time, but it heals. So basically,
absolutely,
that it does heals.
absolutely, absolutely. So, just to flashback and rewind, and let's start from beginning. So, when did you first realize you wanted to be a writer? Today, you're a very, very eminent and a famous writer, but I mean, how did you first realize?
See, this realization came through a writer friend, actually. I used to write poems, but I was never into storytelling. And I used to read this writer's, she's a very, very nice writer named Isha Gupta. She used to post on social forum. So I used to read her stories. She used to post those episodic chapters every day. So after I could relate to that story so much that after every chapter I used to post a small shairi, and that is how we got connected to. I got connected to her, and gradually we became friends. And there was a time when she used to wait for my those write-ups at the end of the chapter. So then she was the one who was like, Kavita, you should go into storytelling, please write. And I was like, no, I cannot do it. But she was the one who literally pushed me into writing and told me you start writing and you post on the same platform and see if you get. And that is how the journey of me as a storyteller started.
So, we should
And I
thank
got a
Nimish.
tremendous response. Bilkul, bilkul.
I
I
know.
am so grateful to her always.
And we all should be,
She
if not she, I think the beautiful range of books and the books
absolutely.
you, so I think a great one.
Thank you so much.
So do convey our a lot of gratitude to Nimisha for giving us
I
so
will.
so beautiful books. So how long does it take for you to write a book, and what's your work schedule like when you're actually writing?
See, I don't have a work schedule, Rekha. Absolutely not. I am not somebody who put, that is why, I cannot be a content writer or I cannot write for magazines or something like that because that requires a specific time and specific dedication,
Deadlines.
specific hour of the day to write. I cannot function in that way. I am an absolutely moody writer. Only when I feel like writing is I will write it. I told you, this book took 5 years, and sometimes I might finish a story within 3 months also. So I have no scheduling, no work schedules, no timings fixed, nothing. I might be traveling in an auto, and I might feel like writing a few words, or I might write in the dead of the night. Only when I feel like writing, I write. So basically, you
Absolutely.
can call me an inconsistent writer, but I function that way.
No, no, not at all. It's not about inconsistency. It's about you're not writing for the sake of writing. You're actually feeling it. And, it is with
Right.
every artist, I believe, you look at, some paintings or you say,
No,
because
no, no. Sorry, I interrupted you. I have come across many writers who actually put in time and dedication and they do write on deadlines. There are these very great writers I know who post on social media also. So they post like every day they'll post or every alternate day they post. And once I start a story, I might post 5 days regular, then I might take 15 days to post the next chapter. So it works like that. With me, it works like that.
Absolutely. Each one to their own, but yeah, absolutely. I
Right,
also
right,
believe
right.
that anything you should write is when you actually feel it. That'll,
Exactly.
that'll automatically come out of you is what I believe, because it is all artistic bent of mind and it is not something which should be, that deadline and all those
Correct.
things. So that's great about knowing you. So, if you, we understand that you started at an age of 12, perhaps I was still playing with dolls and toys at that point in time. So,
I
um,
start though basically with me it was not that I was writing a professional or something like that. I used to write poetries when the classes were on like history, geography classes, and I was like getting bored. So the backbencher kind of a student I was, and last page ke notebook ke last page mein I used to start writing. So that is how I developed as a writer. That was the passion, and of course reading helps.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I was and am a reader. I love to read.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. And I'm sure all those teachers are now reading your books as well.
Yes,
Which
yes,
is
I get a lot of appreciation from my teachers.
absolutely. They must be very proud, like all of us. So, if you had to tell something differently when you were a child or a teenager, like how to become a better writer or something, I mean, how do you think? Because today, if you see, there are a lot of avenues when it comes to writers, a lot of publication houses,
Right,
and
right.
now publishing has become quite easy. Things are, social media is
Easier,
there and all
correct.
that. So, what do you think that if something would have been like in your early times, if you could have done something differently, which would have helped you better? Anything?
I guess the key to writing is reading. If I could go back to my days and do it, I would read a lot more, a lot. I was a reader, but I have wasted a lot of time. I guess I would have read a lot. That is the key, And second thing is observation. Though I am a very poor observer, I am like always lost in my thoughts. But observation also helps a lot.
Because then you try to catch those nuances and put in your
Right, right,
literature and
right,
make it more
right.
real and relatable. That is
Correct,
how people. So there's something like how people should react and how people react. They're two different things. So
right,
when you
right,
observe, you
right.
actually know that what they are up to, and wonderful. So now
Exactly.
that you have published so many books and a couple of volumes and all those things, so what do you think these days are the common traps? As we discussed previously, that while there are a lot of avenues and a lot of channels, and publishing has become easy to an extent, but I do see, a lot of, fraud also there. So, what are the
Right,
common traps
right.
for aspiring writers? If you could, tell to our listeners, any budding authors we have.
See, the first common trap is there are so many Facebook pages that boast of writers and write-ups, and even if you are a non-writer, even if you write a few lines, they give you big certificates, and then these paid award functions. Even I had fallen trap to it once. I did, but later I realized that if you are buying an award, if you are paying for an award, it is not worth it. So this award functions and these things are the first trap that will even if you do not have that kind of talent, or even if you do not have that kind of you will not be able to write properly. You will only get appreciation in the sense of trophies and awards, but that real thing is not inside there. I go through a lot of stuff, I keep reading them, and these are only the words are twisted and the thoughts are absolutely the same. So basically, these award functions and these pages that come up, slope, these I don't want to name them, but I go through so many of these pages that keep small competitions and small write-ups and snippets. And these are all the same. It is happening everywhere. So basically, this is a drawback, I feel.
Absolutely, there is no shortcut for success. I truly believe, as you said, and
Correct.
either the kind of admiration you get and the way your books are received, I think it's equally rewarding or much more than any paid reward. So well said. I think it's a note for our
Completely.
listeners that you should not fall trap of any such paid what do you say awards and all that,
Exactly,
because
awards and all. These will take you nowhere. These will take you nowhere. I'm trust me. Only if your thing is good. The best publicity is the word of mouth publicity.
correct,
That works. That truly works for your things. These
absolutely.
award functions, these certificates will not work for you.
So, the trilogy which you have, the Love Conquers All. So, to some of our listeners who have not read that, so if you could just tell us in brief that what is common between three of them and how they are different. Is it important to read one in the sequence, or I can pick an individual book and read and still be able to understand?
See, basically, if you have to read this trilogy, you have to start from part one. What makes it common is the protagonist. The protagonists are the same in all three. And what makes it different is the first book is when you fall in love, that phase, when you fall in love. The second book is when you fight for your love. And the third phase is what happens after you are married, after you are in love. How do you maintain that love? How do you go about it? How situations can pull you back? So basically, this is the difference between all three.
Beautiful. So I think you've captured all, all different phases of life, which are beautiful yet
Right,
challenging and have their own challenges at, every phase and every time. Wonderful,
right, right,
Kavita.
right.
Wonderful. So tell us about your new book, Endangered Love, and, how do you get the ideas of writing this new book, which is like,
Endangered love is about breakup. It
okay,
is about how breakup affects you, how it pulls you down, how it depresses you, and then how life again gives you the blessing to heal again. Endangered love is all about that. I hear a lot of stories of breakups and how it can completely destroy you. There will be moments where it will completely destroy you, but when you go through a breakup, you do not get these advices. You will never understand these advices. It's like what bullshit people are talking. But once there will be a phase that will come in your life where you will heal. So, giving up, and especially the youngsters, this is a message to the youngsters nowadays. I don't believe even they know what is the essence of love now. Because I go through their Insta profile. I have children, people very young age who I follow in my family also, in friend circle also. So this is kind of Insta love and Insta breakup for them. So I don't think even they understand the meaning of love, or even they understand the meaning of breakup also. So basically, this book is about breakup and healings. That
and
how you can go through it.
and you said Insta love or Insta breakup. I'm saying instant love and instant breakup, like that.
Right, right.
It is
Instant
so.
love and instant breakup. Correct.
So,
2 days you are in love, and then fourth day that person is a like your enemy or the worst person in the world. So that is not
yeah,
love.
you don't want to see. True, true, true. But
Mm,
absolutely, I think, and when you say breakup in all forms, any kind of detachment, and then resilience
correct,
to get it back. I think each one of us go through that, one way or the other.
correct,
So
correct.
it's a beautiful way. I think you have captured, and it's
Right.
a very good message to our listeners, to our readers, that healing is there, and you can always. There's no point
Bilkul,
in giving
bilkul.
up.
Always.
There's no point in
No
giving
point in
up, and
giving
there
up.
is always a life after something. And like one
Yes,
door is
yes.
closed, there are so
Every
many
every
others.
every worst ending have a beautiful beginning.
Correct, correct. And
You
after.
just got to hold up.
Absolutely, and that is what they often say, right? There will be a sunset after a sunrise, and after a sunset, there again be a sunrise, right? So just wait for that.
Life is a Ferris wheel. It
Hmm.
will pull you up and it will pull you down. It will pull you
Absolutely,
up and it will pull you down.
absolutely, absolutely. Well said, Kavita. So tell us then. We all know that you're a very, very famous writer, and we all love you for this. But then, what do you do when you're not writing?
What do I do? I chat a lot with my friends. I do all Vella काम. I'll play Ludo with my friends. I'll chat with them, or I'll do some prank or other with my friends, or just read.
How
That's
many
it.
books?
That's what I do in my.
How many books do you read in a day, or I mean, in a week, maybe?
See, again, Rekha, this is all about my moods. I might not read in 15 days, and then I might go on reading book after book. Recently I've developed a love for this writer, Colleen Harper. She writes amazing books. So one after the other, or I keep reading. So it is all again about moods. If I feel like reading, I'll read. Otherwise, I won't.
Any
So
specific
gen
genre?
lines are like that.
Any spe-
I read only about love and life and romance. That's it. I cannot read adventures and suspense. I'm not kind of that person only. I can only read about love.
So I can conclude that not only your books are full of love, you yourself is full of love. And that is what I think
Hopefully.
you only have love to give to people, and perhaps that's what you get back. So,
Hopefully.
wishing
I
you.
get a lot of love. I don't know how much love I give, but I do get a lot of love.
That's what I'm
I'm
saying.
blessed in that way.
You are absolutely this. I'm saying the way, my friends who all are avid readers and the kind of craze they have for your books was, and the particular friend I'm talking about, she's an avid reader and she has like a huge library in her house, and seeing all your books there itself, it was very beautiful to see that kind of love, and she kept talking about your books, and as I'm saying, she
Hmm.
planned a trip based on your book, and she could relate. So I think that is how real is what you write and how relatable you write, and that is absolutely your magic of writing.
That's
So usually,
Thank you so much.
yeah, usually, people initially, now I think there's a lot of respect for authors, but I think usually people don't maybe take it something differently. So how does your family think of your writing when you actually thought of writing? How did your family
My
take it?
family keeps me grounded, Rekha. They do
Okay.
not treat me like a writer. I deserve a lot of more respect from them, but they don't. They're like, what? अच्छा ठीक है, किताब लिख लिया नहीं है यहाँ. Family will never give you that high. They will always keep you grounded. Of course, they are proud of me. I know that at times they do tell me, but they keep me grounded, and I like it that way.
Absolutely, and that is where the family, there'll be a critic also. They can give you positive, constructive feedback also, and
Right,
they are the
right,
one who are
right,
happy in our happiness, and I'm sure they're there by
right.
you, and that is their way to show love. And as it is,
Absolutely,
you have
absolutely.
so much love from all over, so I think it's good.
Truly, truly blessed in that area.
Yeah, and equally, we are blessed to have you and your books with us. So
Thank you so
beautiful knowing
much.
you, Kavita. So, what was one of the most surprising things that you learned in creating your own books? Because you've written so many books as of now. So,
The surprising thing that I've learned, uh, I don't know if it's a surprise or it's a scary thing, but the rereading part is absolutely terrible. I cannot reread my stuff, and I have these very close friends who do my editing.
okay,
They are like, once we edited it, you reread it once. That is constantly on my mind, that I cannot reread my work, because for one, I think that I have already written it. I cannot, and secondly, I think I better read good other books that I can, if I have time. So basically, that is my thing. I cannot reread my own stuff. Very rare you will find me reading my own stuff. Only when people discuss a lot about my stories in chats and on Facebook or this. So when some particular chapter or some particular sequence is being discussed, then maybe I'll go back and reread it. But this editing process is very scary for me, because I have to ultimately reread the stuff.
I understand. A lot of energy and time is to invested even there.
Right, right,
I understand, but
right.
yeah, but that's very crucial for a book to come out, and perhaps
Very,
that's the
very, very crucial.
very crucial, and perhaps that's the reason of your books being so successful and being received so well. So,
Thank
so that
you.
is so nice knowing you. But before you go, let's before we conclude this session, a quick rapid fire. So you just need to answer me in one line or a word, and don't have to think
Sure,
much. Okay? So with your
sure.
funny spirit, all ready, steady, and go. So your inspiration and why?
My inspiration is Nicholas Spark. Nobody can write like him. Nobody. He is the best.
Okay. So what would you say
He
is
he can explain love and life in the most awesome way.
okay? What would you say is your interesting writing quirk? As in, what?
My moods.
Okay, absolutely. What angers you and what gives you hope?
So many things anger me. So many things. Injustice angers me. Cheatings anger me. Lies anger me. Manipulations anger me. So many things angers me.
What gives you
And
hope?
hope. The Lord above. He gives me
Absolutely,
hope in each and everything. Shiv. He gives hope in everything.
absolutely,
He has
absolutely,
failed me through a lot, so he gives me hope.
absolutely. The two things which people don't know about you. Two things.
Two things. Number one, people think that I do not take phone calls. I'm arrogant. Because I cannot talk over the phone. Most people have stopped calling me because they think I do not pick up phones. But I don't like talking over the phone. I cannot talk over the phone. Even my family is fed up of me. They were like, "You at least receive a call." I cannot talk. I can chat with you, but I cannot talk over the phone.
Nice,
So
nice.
that is one thing I would like to, that I am not an arrogant person, but I am not a phone person at all.
Correct, correct. And what other thing? There's like I asked two things which people.
I think the other thing is very people who don't know about me, maybe I think people know I am an open book. Yeah, my friends know me, my family know me. The strangers might, I could say that I am an open book. I am all heart. I am all love. That's it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, do you Google yourself? If yes, why?
I don't Google myself. I hope people will someday Google me all the time.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay. What is the first book which made you cry?
The Best of Me by Nicholas Spark.
Okay,
That
okay.
book made me cry. Before that, I never believed books could make you cry, but that book did make me cry.
Okay, fantastic. So, top three books which you recommend that our listeners should read.
Please, please read all my books. All my books are the best. Please read Love Conquers All, Endangered Love, Destiny. I recommend all these books to you. Please read it.
Absolutely. And if I may ask, I know it's a difficult question. It is like asking a mother who's your favorite child, but then which one is the closest to your heart? Just like that. If you have to pick,
It always have to be Love Conquers All, my trilogy.
absolutely,
Always.
absolutely. I understand. And describe yourself in three words.
I'm crazy. I'm a foodie, and I like reading. That is the three things that describes me.
Absolutely, Kavita. So before we conclude, a final message to our listeners.
Uh, Live and let live. That is the only funda I follow. I do not interrupt in people's living. Please do not interrupt in mine. It is the same with everybody. जियो और भगवान के लिए लोगों को जीने दो. We have these criteria. We keep judging people. ये ऐसे कर रहा है वैसे कर. Stop doing it. It is their life. Like you own your own life, they own theirs. It is none of your concern what they are doing. So live and let live. That is what I would like to say. And
Absolutely,
read. Reading will open the world to you. Even if you do not afford to travel, even in your city, you can, by reading you can travel the world.
absolutely. And books are your best
So
friends. I
keep
think when
reading.
you read, you find
Yes,
that friend
yes,
in that, and
absolutely.
you
You
can
are
always
never lonely if you are a reader. Trust me, you will never be lonely.
and you'll always fall short of time because you want to read more and more, isn't it? So I think
Right,
your whole
right, right,
mindset, your whole thinking process, and the healthy mind and healthy body. So I'm sure it
right,
really
right,
nourishes your brain with good reading. And so I
right.
urge all the listeners and all the people who are attending the live. First of all, thank you for joining, and all those who would be listening us
Thank you so much.
later. Her books are absolutely wonderful, and as I'm saying, you just once you start, you just can't stop in between. Full of love and very very emotional and very relatable, and you'll be in a different world when you read, and I'm sure you'll forget all your worries and everything. This is the beauty, this is the magic of when Kavita writes. So thank you once again, Kavita. It was great interacting with you, and thank you for
Thank you
providing
so
us
much, Rekha.
valuable insight, and you've been extremely inspiring and motivational, and I'm sure most of us have started picking pen and paper and start writing something, right? So thank you for your valuable time, and thank you to all our wonderful listeners. Once again, I wish you all the very
Thanks,
best, Kavita.
Rekha. Thanks, Rekha, for having me, and thanks to all my. I could see some of my very close friends commenting over there. So thanks to everyone who's watching me, and thanks to all the readers, and thanks to you, Rekha, for having me. It was wonderful interacting with you.
Thank you very much, Kavita. All the very best for your future endeavors as well.
Thank you. Thank you
Great.
so much.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye. Have a nice evening. Bye.
Bye bye. Have a nice day. Bye.